Guru Kripa Kevalam. Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang this morning. Sadhguru Shri Muji Baba ki Jai. Suppose that in your life, something over this throat. Suppose that in your life, everything was always taken care of. Everything was always taken care of. Then how would your inner attitude change? If you knew this unwaveringly, that whatever it is always taken care of. Then how would your inner attitude change? We see these three words, Guru Kripa Kevalam. Guru Kripa is Master's grace. And we could have said, we rest in Master's grace, or we trust in Master's grace. But the word Kevalam is very important. Because Kevalam means only is. Only is. And why would we say it if it is not our living experience? Of course, it doesn't seem for many of us that it is a constant living experience yet. And yet something already in our hearts knows that this is true. That only the Master's grace is Kevalam. Now this tells us a lot actually. Because if only the Master's grace is, then the Master must always be there. His grace is functioning, her grace is functioning. So this Master must always be there. So which is that presence, which is always there? Which presence is that is always there? This is the presence of being, consciousness, Sadguru, God. It doesn't matter which term we use. So this existence is always there. So let's say this is the Guru, Sadguru within, whatever terminology we want to use. So this one can be trusted completely. So when Guruji says, leave your existence to existence, this existence is always there. And it needs no help to run any of this. As soon as I am, then I see that the world is. It appears without any individual effort. It runs without individual effort. I don't need to pick up an Ananta to switch on gravity. Right. Ananta, please come up, and then this world starts functioning. All of this is naturally functioning. In the light of whom? Or in whose light? In the Upanishads and also Bhagavan, he asks this very important question. In whose light does the sun exist? The sun seems to give light to all of this appearance. And in whose light is the sun perceived? So this Guru is the light of our existence. Therefore, everything is this Guru's grace. Everything is the doing and the experiencing of this one. That is why it is Guru Kripa Kevalam. Only the Master's grace is. Now, you might ask an important question, which is to say, you say that the Guru is within. You say the Guru is within. So why do we then come to outer Guru? Why do we then need to come to that so-called living master? It is because the game that consciousness is playing or has played is that it has identified itself with name and form for so long that it plays this game of fooling itself, of delusion, that it can no longer relate to that which is nameless and formless. If I come to you and say to you that, Gopala, I know someone who can be your best friend. You say, oh, good. I'd like to meet this one. And then you can't see him or her. You can't talk to him or her. You see, you can find no actual quality about this one. Then you will say, but how can I be friends with this one? I can't see them, I can't hear them, I can't have a conversation with them. What do you mean by friends? Is it? So when, in the same way, all of us have grown up hearing these things, that the Guru is within, but it can sound too abstract that we don't understand how to communicate with this one, how to relate with this one. You see? In India, all of us hear what? That the God is formless. God is everywhere. God is all there is. We hear this. But how many forms of gods do we have? Millions. You see, in every street corner, you'll see a different form. So what does this actually mean? It means that although God is formless, in the play of delusion, where consciousness seems to have deluded itself with attachment or relating only with name and form, there needs to be a doorway. There needs to be something relatable. It can seem like this is the door to my true being, my true Sadguru. So then what happens? In some cultures, uh, It is prescribed by some prophets, sages, that this is a good representation. Use this one. You see? The priest will prescribe, okay, this is good representation. Let's use this form. So you can have Jesus on a cross, or some verses from the Quran. In India, it became very democratic in a way. Whatever you can make a form. You would like to relate with a God that is naughty? You see? Playful, fun, you see, yet all-knowing and beautifully knowledgeable. Okay, let's make Krishna. You feel that God should be always righteous and struggle with all these human conditions and try to go through this journey of human exploration in a very authentic, vulnerable way, then we have representations of Ram. So whatever form that you can actually imagine, there is a representation which can be made or is available already. And the beauty of any such form is that it takes you out of this me, to trust in a deeper, to trust in a more divine. And these forms also can be the forms of the masters that have come and gone or still exist in their body. And it is beautiful because although some of us find it strange that why in India we put all of this photos of the masters everywhere. You see, what is this about? It's very good because at some point in time, we must have figured that the human nature has become so forgetful about the truth that everywhere I look, I want to be reminded. So here, like on this wall, Guruji is there. On this wall, Guruji is there. And on this, next to the window, Guruji is there. You know what I mean? The photo of Guruji is there. Guruji is there everywhere. Volume of the mic is full. My throat volume is not full, unfortunately. So these forms of those aspects of consciousness which have awakened, who stepped out of the paradigm of the mind and have awakened to a deeper intuitive reality. They serve as good reminders of what possibility exists here in consciousness. And I'm aware that some of these terms might sound a bit dualistic, but we are talking about how consciousness operates within the, when it is deluded as if it is something. So, to remind ourselves that everything is taken care of, we make, and initially we can even say we need an outer representation to show us this. I've often said that the beauty of having a living master is that they show you the possibility that it is possible to exist in this world, even with a body and family and work. All of this is completely possible without hanging on to the notion of what's in it for me or the idea of meanness. So this is a great blessing which is available to us. That is why whenever someone asks me, do we need a master in form? I usually say that there is nothing in consciousness which says that things must always be this way. But I have to say that from experience, I have never met one who has awakened to their inner truth without the presence of a master in form. Even Bhagwan, although he said that I have no human masters or disciples for that matter, he also said that the mountain, Arunachala, is his master. So that representation of Shiva then became his master. But where is Shiva? Shiva is the very source of all of this existence itself. And yet, even for the greatest sages, initially, we need a representation. We seem to need a representation which can be given a form and has a name. So that is the value of having a outer or external seeming master. And we must always be grateful for Guruji's presence in our life, because at least for here I can say that in the play of this life, in spite of so much learning, understanding, reading so many books, doing many practices, till I had the darshan of the Sadguru within through looking into the eyes of Guruji. I did not step completely out of this paradigm of belief, this paradigm of thought system. And when I say completely, I use the term a bit loosely. There is no completely. You can say mostly. So now this existence is here. What help does it need? Does it need a consultant and advisor to run this world? You're saying somebody who comes and says, hey, maybe you got the speed of light a bit wrong. You might want to change that constant a bit. You know, the way the earth is going around the sun, it seems a bit tilted. Maybe you want to straighten that out a bit. You see? It doesn't need this consultant, this advisor. Because it is experiencing its own perfection in its wholeness as this one appearance. Although if you look at it out of context, which means if you look at it only piece by piece, then it can look like, but there is no perfection in this world. So if you look at your life piece by piece, only at specific times, then you will see that, oh, this is not right, this could be better, this could change. But if you look at the entirety of your even human existence, you will find such a beautiful symphonic play of perfection. So you are like that tree that Guruji speaks about, It doesn't need a thought to grow its next branch. It is growing itself. The flowers are flowering, the branches are growing. Sometimes a cleanup needs to happen and everything seems to go. And yet fresh beauty arises. Now imagine if the tree started thinking and believing his thoughts. I don't know whether they do actually. Let's presume for a minute they don't. Say when the leaves are falling, the tree starts crying. Why are my leaves falling? What's happening to me? I'm losing all my possessions. Its most intimate branch, if it falls away, the tree cries and says, why? My best relationship is going. I was so attached to this one. What advice will you give to this tree? Give that same advice to yourself. So don't worry. You might not realize it yet, but everything is taken care of. Everything is functioning beautifully. Now, what is another way of suffering is to have a projection of how things should be. If a rose bush, a rose plant, has an idea that it must become a banyan tree, then what is going to happen? If every moment all that it is thinking about is becoming a banyan tree, what advice will you give this rose plant? You will say, but see your own beauty. Look at the flowers that are flowering. The banyan tree does not have these. What is, just is. Once we apply our own projection on top of what is, then we feel that life should be this way. I wanted to grow some banyan roots, and instead, only these thorns are coming. Then suffering can come. But if you don't have any idea, then sometimes, if you don't have any idea, but don't take what I'm going to say very seriously, because you will make an idea out of it. If you don't have an idea about either rose or banyan, then in your outer representation, although it might seem like you started off as a rose bush, you might become a banyan tree. This is the divine possibility. So if your kitchen is full of food, if your fridge is full, the platform is full, everything is full of food, will you be running from place to place, grocery shop to grocery shop, looking for bread? So the seeking must imply the idea that something is lacking is believed in. That's why the sage Kabir said, all of us looking for the ruby, but we are not checking in our own pocket. We go looking for God everywhere, for an unchanging truth everywhere, for something which will give us stability everywhere, and we look everywhere but ourselves. So that's why you need an outer guru, because when you're running from grocery shop to grocery shop, shopping for bread, he will say, but have you checked your kitchen? It is fully stocked up. You see, it's fully stocked. But every other shop is telling you buy this, buy that. This bread is multigrain, this bread is gluten free, this bread is whole wheat. You see, there's one place you come to where he says, but have you checked at home? This, in one way, is also the value of the living master. Because everybody else is saying, buy my bread, buy my bread. The master is saying, I have no bread for you, but have you checked your kitchen? Then when you come to your kitchen, you realize that you have a magic fridge. It never runs out. So your being never runs out of beingness. Your self never runs out of selfness. You can never lose it. So if you can never lose it, what are you looking to find? In whose light do these sensations that we call the body appear? In whose light are your emotions seen? Are your thoughts seen? Who has to be here before any perception can happen? Where you are, God is. God is not the result of some becoming. God is your very being. So if you say, I am going to find God, I am going to find God, is to play as if you are missing God. But the I am already is God. Before you can say going to find God, who is here? Before you can say I am not happy, or I am not free, or I am free, before you apply the attribute, can you check who you are applying it to? Who is here that has this body, that perceives the world? Whose existence is this? Your that you call your existence is whose? This is fundamental. That which you call your existence is whose? My existence is whose? If I tell you that your existence is Guruji, would that be too much for you? Now lose him. Lose him, the Sadguru within. Lose it. Beloved Father, you pulled me into Samadhi and I lost my beingness. It is enough for me if you lose your mind. So this presence that you call your presence, your existence, The mind has only one trick now, to say that this is an individual's presence, to say that it is a person's presence. There is no such thing actually, but it will say that this presence is personal, individual. So when Bhagavan said that I am playing as I am something, this is the trick. This is the mind's trick. I am then plays with the mind and picks up a label about itself and plays as if it is limited. I am something. Objectifies itself in a way and then starts relating names and forms to this object. But if you can see this here itself, then you don't have to do anything with any of that. You don't have to get rid of any tendencies, conditions. You don't have to work on any of that stuff because the root of it is here. If you can see that without buying into the idea that this being is personal, you don't have to work on any other story, then this seems like a beautiful, direct way. What convinces you that your being is personal? Because none of you say, when I ask you, can you stop being? None of you say, yes, I stop. No, I can't stop being. I am. So this being is here. Now the only exploration left is this a person's being? Or is this the existence of presence, the existence of consciousness itself, without limitation? Maybe I will share one trick with you which can in a way change your life. And the rest I can leave to your own exploration. The mind will convince you that the sensations that you are experiencing, and it will call it the body, that limits this being. And that is why this being is personal. The mind will try to convince you, and I will try to speak slowly because this is important and often forgotten. Now, many of you will feel that this being that you're finding is something contained within the body. But this is just a paradigm that we have got used to because of habit. It is not true. And it is worth looking at right now. That those sensations which you feel are contained, or those sensations which you feel contain this being. Can you find out where they are contained? Those sensations, which we call the body, which you feel they contain my being, therefore being is limited. Can you find out where those sensations are contained? What is that space in which those sensations are experienced? Is that space different from where all perceptions are being experienced? the sound from the computer in front of you, this voice, sound of the traffic, all perception, are they within the same space or are there multiple spaces in which all these are contained, are perceived? So this space in which perception is happening, is it independent of your being, your existence? Then you start seeing that your being is more like space rather than like a container or something contained in a container. It is more like vast space, which is not just three dimensional, has no dimensions, it is everywhere and everything is within it. And the sensations which you thought so far contain your being are just another set of perceptions within this space, space like existence. Is it is subtler than even this space? As you explore your existence, you find that all these words of the beautiful, beautiful scriptures, they seem like just very direct words. They might have seemed very abstract before this. I remember hearing many years ago the words of the Ashtavakra Gita, and they just sounded like beautiful poetry. You are the boundless ocean, you are the limitless ocean in which the arcs of the universe they come and go. It just sounds too much. It just sounds like poetry or something. But as you explore your very presence, your being, you find that the sage is speaking about you. Undeniably, you, just not the you that you thought you were. But if you skip this step and quickly presume a me, then the spiritual journey seems to be long because the me will have many ideas. What does it mean? Me will have many ideas. The notion that I am something is a big collection of ideas. Like we've been talking about the idea I am a man, or I am a husband, or I am a father. Has so many ideas within it. Is the entire set of ideas of humankind in a way. So if you pick up one idea about me, then you have to deal with all the ideas of humankind. But if you meet yourself more naked, more open, without this basic presumption of me, then you just find this unlimited. Even this idea of unlimited actually does not apply to how unlimited it is. Open, not resisting. So don't need a projection of yourself. Meet yourself. Don't meet an idea of yourself. Meet yourself. then you will find that your very being is that being that in the manifest way, this being, your being, is what all of us are bowing down to. It is the Sadguru's presence. This is very good to come to Satsang and to surrender. Because when you're open and supported in the presence of Satsang, you will come across many of these subtle identities that still seem to attach to the notion of me. And it's good at that moment to just surrender it. Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadguru Shri Muji Baba ki Jai.
Sadguru Shri Ananta-Ji ki Jai.
Guru Kripa Kevalam. Yes. This is also a common trick of the mind to come and tell you that, you see, this cannot happen just by existence, okay? Just from existence. This you have to take care of, okay? And it makes something out of you, or it tries to make this belief, this identity that you are something. Good. Your spotting it is good enough. What is surrender actually? Most important aspect of surrender is that you spot it and you're not trying to deal with it personally. Like even this, it can come and then you can say, okay, this is what the mind says. It says you better take care of it. So I better take care of, then it says you better take care of it. Is it? Then it becomes like a vicious circle. So surrender means you have noticed it, and in your inner attitude, you said it is father's problem. That is good enough. Okay. The one thought that you must never believe is that you are not doing your surrender well enough. Is it? Because that can really get you in the sense that, oh, some trouble is coming, that's why, oh, you must not be surrendering well enough, so you better work on your surrender. This kind of thing. But there's nothing to work on there. You see, that itself is the fallacy which we are dropping. That individually, personally, I have something to do. The sense of individualized doership is what we are letting go of anyway. So you don't have to do anything to deepen your surrender. Just coming to satsang with a little bit of openness is good enough.